Today, we're talking to an industry leader about how to thrive in the face of change and turn your passion into a premium, resilient business.
Welcome to Commercial Photographer, your guide to marketing, creativity, and growth. This is a podcast that helps commercial, brand, and headshot photographers navigate the competitive world of commercial photography with actionable strategies to grow your business.
Well, hello, listeners, and welcome back to another fun-packed show full of information and useful tips. We've got a guest on this week. We've got Colin Jones from the Society of Photographers.
Welcome back, listeners. I'm Sam, and while I can't be with you in the studio this week, I've left you in excellent hands, with Marcus, of course, and we've got a fantastic guest with him, Colin Jones from the Society of Photographers. By the time we've finished today, you'll have learnt 3 critical things that will change how you view your photography business. The first is how to significantly improve your photography and build a more profitable, premium business by leveraging the support and community of a dedicated professional body. The second is how the commercial photography market is changing and how you can find opportunities in the biggest challenges like the rise of AI. And finally, you'll learn why ideas are the gold standard of your business and why just being technically brilliant won't be enough to succeed in the future.
Hello, Colin. How are you doing?
Hi, it's great to be on here. So thank you so much for having me. I'm really well, thanks. How are you?
I am very well, thank you, very well. And we met face-to-face early this year in your homeland of Wales at the conference down there, didn't we? That was the first time we've met, but we've spoken to you before.
Yeah, 100%. And it was great to meet in person. I love kind of those trade shows and networking events that you get to put a face to a name from people you might have spoken to on emails and stuff like that. So it's always great to meet people in person, definitely.
Yeah, agreed. So, in a nutshell, Colin, can you tell us what the Society of Photographers is all about?
Yeah, of course. So I'm the CEO of the Society of Photographers, and essentially the Society of Photographers is an organisation for photographers, and we help photographers improve their photography and make a more profitable and premium business. And we do that through a list of benefits where we help photographers really improve their photography and build their business. That's something that we're really, really keen to support photographers on.
Well, that's fantastic. And how many members have you got in total at the moment? Do you know?
Yeah, so we've got around 5,000 members covering all different aspects of photography. I know this podcast is mainly commercial, and we have lots of great commercial photographers within our membership, but we also have nature and wildlife photographers, we have wedding and portrait photographers, and that's spread across literally across the world. So we've got members in the UK, Europe, America, and Australia, and literally all around the world. So we're really fortunate to have such an amazing group of photographers as part of the organisation.
When was it set up?
It was set up in the late 80s. It was actually set up by the Master Photographers Association back in the day as like an offshoot organisation. And historically, they passed it on to someone. They ran it for a good number of years. And then my father, Phil Jones, he took over running it quite a few years ago. And back in 2020, I took over running the organisation. So it's it's been an interesting development over the years, and it's just continuing to grow. And it's just great that we get out there and support photographers.
That's fantastic, and the kind of things that you put on. I know you do a magazine.
Yeah. So we do a Professional Image Maker magazine that comes out 6 times a year, and that's filled full of lots of tutorials and reviews and inspiration. It's a great magazine, which I know the members really appreciate.
Yeah, and it's just so nice. It must be great for your members to see their work in print as well, and to have something on print. I mean, we just spend so much time on the internet these days, don't we? Print is still so valuable.
Oh, 100%. So, we're still very much a printed magazine. We do have a digital edition of the magazine as well. But I think, when the magazine drops through your door, through your letterbox, and it's quite a weighty magazine as well. And people take the time out. a weighted magazine. It's got a good weight to it.
Yes.
So, our members really enjoy taking time out and reading the magazine and getting that inspiration from seeing the articles in there.
Photography, yeah, it's seeing the work stuff in print is just so different. It's such a different experience. I was a couple of weeks ago. I went to the Marching Path Foundation. They had a book weekend for where they call BOP, where people bring, and it's you might have come to. Did you go to it? I know it's around you're located in Wales near here. Did you go to it?
We're located in North Wales, so it's a bit of a drive down to that area.
Yeah,
but
yes.
I know the one you're on about. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was jam packed full of people selling books, and it was small projects, big projects, really famous books, people starting out, and but the primary thing is it's just still we've got that foundation of seeing photography in print. Yeah, so great that you got a magazine.
Yeah, and it's really important that photography is still printed. It's something that we really champion. As you kind of mentioned before, we see so much digitally these days, whether it be on social media or on websites or anything like that. But seeing the final image printed on a really good quality paper, done professionally. It can transform an image, and we've seen it so many times where you see a digital image and it looks really good. It's technically perfect.
Yes.
But once you see it printed, it has a completely different feel to it.
It really does, doesn't it? That's it's not so forgiving, I would say, printing as looking at stuff on the screen, to put it politely, I guess. You also do you run a convention as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we run a convention in London every January, and that really is kind of like the main event that we do every year. So the convention comprises of quite a few things. It's got a trade show, so you can go and speak to the trade. There's 100 brands.
Oh wow!
Milling round, and so it'll be all the latest products and services from the industry. You can go and see the latest gear, find out what new services are available. And get feedback or guidance from people like the IPO who are going to be exhibiting next year. So it's a real good one-stop shop to pop into to get those kind of questions answered. But we also do 150 hours of masterclasses. So if you're looking to improve your photography then or business, then that's great as well. We also run a business school. So if you're looking for help with the business side of that. And then, of course, on the side, we've also got the awards presentation evening and 20x16 print competition. Still a going back to what we were just talking about. We really champion print. So we actually do a 20x16 inch print competition. So you can enter your images and they get critiqued in front of a live audience. It's completely free to attend that part of the convention. And we really encourage as many photographers to attend that because the critique and what the judges are explaining when they're looking at the images is really beneficial to not just the author but people in the audience to see what the judges are looking at and how that image can be improved. And you can take it into your own photography. Some of the comments they're making, it really is a really good aspect of the convention to go to.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I don't know if you know, but I was a senior lecturer for a little while in South Wales at a university there, and those group crits that we'd have where people would show their work. And when I went to university, that was a really fundamental part of the photography degree that I did. Group crits. It's a bit painful. It can be for the person showing the work, but God, you can learn so much from it.
100%, and we always do positive commenting as well.
Yeah, that's the
so
secret to it.
We tell people, we tell the photographers what they're doing right, as well as some tips and techniques to improve their photography. But it very much comes from a positive place, because we want to see people getting the best out of their photography and pushing the standards forward. That's something that we're really passionate about is seeing, the industry thriving and photographers really excelling in what they do. Certainly in the commercial world, we see a lot of amazing photographers. Massively in the commercial sector, the quality that photography that comes out of that sector is very high standard. So it's always great to see people really pushing that technical excellence. and working for their clients really well.
Excellent. Well, we're going to dive into the commercial side of the society in a second. Just before we do that, Colin, maybe you can just give us the dates and where that and where it's being held, the convention for next year.
The convention's the 14th to the 17th of Jan, and the free trade show is the 15th to the 17th of January, and that's held at the Novotel London West in Hammersmith, London.
Great. So that's a great start to the year for people. Great. That's a good bit of timing, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of our members and photographers, they use that as their their inspiration for the start of the year. So Christmas is over and done with. We're looking forward. So that's why we run stuff like the business school, because it's the right time of year where photographers have that natural break in their calendars, that they can, plan the year ahead and, get some inspiration and some ideas for not just their photography, but their business as well.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's very good. And of course, being in Hammersmith, easy to get to, not having to go to the right heart in the central London, just, very near all the motorways. Excellent. Great. Okay, let's dive into the commercial world, the business of photography. So you mentioned there you've got some workshops going on. What kind of things do you tend to focus on in these workshops for commercial photographers?
So to be honest, we try and cover quite a range of topics when it comes to the education we put on. As I say, we do quite a lot on business because we know that that's a side of the industry that photographers, they want more education on the business side, how to get more clients in, how to make their websites convert better. So that is something that we really do focus on, is giving photographers the guidance when it comes to business. But we also do lots of stuff like lighting, and in the social side of the world, we do posing. But we've just done an evening seminar on tabletop product photography, which went really well. And that was going from the ground up, how to build the sets for a start, how to light it. And we also covered how easy it can be to do tabletop photography and make something look very elegant using minimal props. So using stuff that we'll just have around the studio or your workspace, that we can use to give a bit of depth to the image without it costing a fortune.
Gotcha. Do you know what percentage? I'm sorry not to put you on the spot here, but do you know what percentage of members you've got are actually working photographers?
Yeah, so quite a high percentage. It's roughly about the 80% of our membership is working photographers. A lot in the wedding and portrait kind of side, and I think commercial is about 15% of our membership are professional commercial photographers.
Yeah, and again, it's always difficult with terms, isn't it? And I know everybody, every country has got a different view on different terms. But when we say commercial, we're basically talking about B2B, aren't we? People whose business is based around working with other businesses.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And we see a range of commercial photography within our world as well. So some people they specialize in that architectural photography, or they'll do product photography. So we get to see a great range of people working within that environment as well.
Do you do actual awards for commercial photographer or competitions for that? Is that the kind of thing you've tried doing or do?
Yeah, 100%. So we have a monthly image competition that members can enter. That's part of the membership. So you can enter one image per category per month, completely part of the membership. And we do have an advertising and commercial categories. So we award an advertising and commercial photographer of the year. And that's also backed up in the 20x16 competition as well. So yes, we have awards for both digital and print photographer of the year for commercial categories.
That's so interesting, Colin. I mean, really, I'll be honest with you, I don't really realise that. I always tend to think of the society as being non-commercial, for want of a better word.
Yeah, and to be fair, over the last, I'd say, 10 years, we've massively grown in the demographics of our membership. So where we used to be really well known for the kind of wedding and portrait side, and we still are, to be fair. But we've had a massive surge in nature and wildlife photographers, so that now makes up 35% of our membership. And then, as I say, commercials around the 15% of our membership. So we really do have quite a mix of photographers
Yes.
specialising in so many different aspects now. And within our judging team and our mentors, we have photographers that are, full-time professional photographers in those sectors. So when you apply for mentoring, which is one of our biggest benefits of membership, where you can get a one-to-one appraisal of your work, you can send in 20 images. They'll critique that each image. They'll tell you what you're doing really well, areas of improvement, how to, improve those images overall. That will be done by a commercial photographer. So we've worked really hard to get the right people in place that when we're offering guidance, you're getting it from a reliable person who's done that and knows the industry really well.
Yeah, that's great. It's great you do it. You have to, though. Really, you have to. I mean, and it's got its own every sort of genre has got its own different sort of little quirks or tweaks to run the business. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Every genre, there's so much that that does cover all kind of bases when it comes to photography. But each little section has its own nuances. When you think about commercial, there's so much what goes into it. Obviously, the technical technical excellence is really high on the agenda when it comes to the pictures. But working with brands, you're going to be looking at their overall branding guidelines.
Yep.
They might be giving you a description of what they want in that job. Is it going to be designed for a magazine advert? Is it going to be on a billboard, or is it going to be on their website? So and the difference just between those three can be a big difference in how you take that photograph initially. So it's a really interesting section of the market, the commercial world, because there's so much more what goes into it. It's not it's not just the taking of the picture and the posing and the styling. There's a lot more what goes into the image to make sure that it's what the client needs for their overall outcome of the campaign.
Well, I'm bound to agree with you on that. Of course, yeah. There's a lot in the pre-production. I think that's where that's where the real difference lies in just getting things sorted out and the ideas, etc., etc. So you've obviously got a fantastic overview of all the types of photography, but can we focus on any changes that you've seen in the commercial sector over these last 10, 15 years? Have you seen any growth markets, any markets, or even markets that are not doing so well?
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting question. I think the industry is changing quite rapidly. We're seeing massive changes in the industry overall. I know from many commercial photographers, there's the concern over AI and how that's going to change things. Certainly when it comes to like stock photography and stuff. So really my advice to people would be, to nail that technical excellence when it comes to, getting everything right and delivering what the clients want. And finding that market of people what want their products and showcase to the best of your ability, which AI can't do. So say if you're a food photographer as such, a chef's not going to want an AI image of a cake that's been generated online. They want to see their hard work that they put into building that food, photographed correctly so that they can put it on display. So I really believe that's a really good market to be in at the moment, is finding those niche markets and working with high valued clients that really value photography of their products.
Yes. And there are companies out there who really, really do. I mean, I certainly, the ones that I work with certainly do. And what about sort of industries? I've obviously, being a branding photographer, I've seen the growth in branding photography. Wedding photography seems to have, in the last 20 years, has definitely changed, certainly, and as a growing market. Any thoughts on any of those kind of things, Colin?
Yeah, I mean the wedding photography market has massively changed. People have access to digital cameras a lot more than what they did 20 years ago. We look at the technology within phones and stuff like that. It's come on leaps and bounds. So and I think weddings as an industry overall has changed. People see weddings differently to what they did certainly 20 years ago. But again, I think it's finding the right clients. People that are looking for low cost alternatives probably aren't going to be your client. So the people that aren't looking for those professional images, they probably weren't going to be your client anyway. So we really encourage people to look for that high end market where people really value photography and value professional photography.
Yeah, it's the clients who don't ask you how much they charge. You charge. Those are the ones you want, because those are the ones who are coming to you because of your photography and your ideas. Photography is as long as I've been in the business, I've always seen change. Going from film to digital, or blah 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 blah. There's always change in photography, and you mentioned AI. Obviously, is the sort of the next big sort of, dare I say it, threat. So I would say way forward is to come up with more as a content, dare I say it, a content creator, where you're doing lots of different things, maybe where it's more based around ideas, what you've sort of alluded to. And this is a provocative question. Let me say, with that in mind, how are you addressing that? The more opening up of photography into other forms within the society.
As in different genres, do you mean, or people?
Not genres. I'm thinking like doing video, like doing photography, like doing whatever it might be. It might be as a content, creating content, making ideas.
Yeah, of course, and we've actually done classes on that in the past. Obviously, a lot of the digital cameras these days, you can do photography and video, on the same system. So we've done classes on how to get more out of your camera. So not just using it for photography, but if you're a wedding photographer, yes, you can take pictures, but you can also do reels on it. I know a lot of photographers are invested in some of the smaller video production stuff on the market, to basically use as an add-on for their services. So, they can say that we're going to go out and we're going to do your photography, but we can also do an add-on where we do a 6-minute, reel on the side of it and charge extra for that. And I going back to kind of AI, it really reminds me of back in the film days where I'm sure you'll remember, slow. So some people slow to take up the digital. There was people that firmly believed that film was still the way forward, but it was the people that took the digital era, with open arms. They're the ones that seem to grasp it quicker. They move their production more digital quicker, and I see very much similarities with AI. I know there's some people out there that are really using AI for the benefits that it can bring, and that might not be in the kind of photography side, but it might mean in the admin side,
right.
using it for emails or website, or trying to give you ideas, or there's lots of possibilities that photographers can use AI for that actually does help your business. So I would say keep an open mind when it comes to AI. It is here, it is going to stay, and we just need to find ways that are going to make it work for us rather than against us.
Yeah, I quite agree. I mean, I think, I said a lot on this show, ideas are gold. This is what you want, is ideas. All the rest is just technique. It really has little value. Ideas are where the gold is. And that can be applied to doing a video campaign, a still campaign, a GIFs or reels or whatever. It's all about having good ideas.
Yeah, 100%, and that it's keeping ideas going forward, which is what quite often makes businesses succeed. It's thinking outside of the box. I hate using that term, but it's the easiest way of explaining it. Is to keep thinking differently, to staying ahead of the game. They're the things that push businesses forward.
Yeah. Again, another rather provocative question. Do you think having competitions which do tend to be based around rules and guidelines is limiting the thought process behind the submissions?
Yeah, that's certainly something that we consider. So our competitions, we actually have fairly relaxed rules as a general consensus. Obviously, there's some rules that we need in there to make sure that the system's fair for everyone. But we do try and keep the rules as unlimited. We try not to make the rules
Too prescriptive.
Yeah, because we want to encourage photographers to be unique, to have their own style. So when it comes to judging, we actually have 10 things that judges look for in an image, which are listed on our website that anybody's free to go and have a look. And that's how our judges base their score and their critiques off. But essentially, first of all, it's all about the image that the author's put in. What's the story behind it? So we do try and be open as much as possible to giving photographers a fair chance of entering the competition, and to letting their creativity and style come through with that.
Yeah, well, you can't argue with that. Brilliant. And so, just as we're sort of coming towards the end of the show, let's talk about you, Colin. I'm going to put you on the spot. You're obviously you're doing your own photography, presumably.
No, do you know what? I don't actually do. So my background is my granddad was a wedding and portrait photographer, and my dad was a wedding and portrait photographer as well. So photography has always been in my blood. When I was a kid growing up, my dad used to be a chair for the Master Photographers Association Northwest Region. So my whole life has been more built around the association side of photography. So back when I was knee high to a grasshopper, I was going to seminars when I was 5 and 6 years old, helping my dad. Then so kind of going to seminars and helping photographers is kind of been my life since being a kid. So it feels a natural fit that I've fallen into this role with the Society of Photographers to continue that. It's and I genuinely love doing it. I love seeing photographers, excelling in their photography and their business, and seeing the passion come out. But I leave photography to the people that can actually take pictures rather than myself.
Well, you're a facilitator. That's what you're basically saying. Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
What about a genre then? What about a style of photography that you like? Is it fashion? Is it street photography?
Yeah, I love street photography. I also, for some reason, and I can't tell you why, I've always loved pictures of bridges at night lit up. I love that style of photography. I think I must have seen a picture when I was very young, and it's always stuck with me.
Well, yeah, that's been great. So look, the societies, it's really, you've really opened up my mind to all the kind of things that you offer, obviously I knew about a magazine, but the commercial side is all new to me. So that's been great to hear about that.
Yeah, so we do have a dedicated website for commercial photographers. So that is SICIP.net, so SICIP.net. That's dedicated to commercial photographers of whether that be corporate products or anything in between. So
what does that stand for?
It's the Society of International Commercial and Industrial Photographers. So as part of the Society of Photographers, we actually have 8 subcategories, so that everyone feels like they have their place.
That is okay. That is something I did not know, and that's something really, really useful to know. And so we'll make sure we put the notes for the link for that in the notes. That's fantastic, and a great place to end there, Colin. Thank you so much for being a great guest. Well, that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Colin Jones from the Society of Photographers. And if you tuned in earlier, you'll know we had 3 main learning points from the show. So let's quickly review what you've just learned. Firstly, we discovered how to improve your photography and build a more profitable premium business by utilising the expert guidance, mentoring and print competitions that the societies offer. Secondly, we discussed the massive changes in the commercial photography market, particularly how to handle the challenges of AI and focus on niche markets like food and architecture for growth. And finally, we ended on the crucial point that ideas are the gold standard in this industry, and that focusing on creative concepts is what will truly set you apart from the competition. Don't forget, you can find all the links and the details for the societies and their upcoming convention in the show notes. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
And don't forget that you can get for free the Commercial Photographer Guide to Creativity and Marketing. After all, that's what this show is all about, To get your free download, all you need to do is go to our website at commercial-photographer-podcast.com/creativity. Let me do that one again. commercial-photographer-podcast.com/creativity. And from there, you can get your free guide from us to marketing and creativity.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a joy to talk to you.
Nice one, mate. Look after yourself and see you soon.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. If you want to make sure you never miss a show, head to the website commercial-photographer-podcast.com and sign up to the newsletter. We'll be back next week with more practical advice to help you grow your business. See you next time.